Recently there's been a lot of talk about the banks changing the goalposts, making it harder for property investors to get loans. In fact, there's nothing new about this. I remember not that long ago, in the years following the global financial crisis, that banks responded by removing many lending products from the market and tightening the reins on lending policies. Now, while this can be frustrating for investors, those who've got stringent lending requirements to finance their next properties, there's always ways astute investors can break through the lending ceiling. Now, I'm Michael Yardney, and today I'd like to discuss with you a number of ways to help get the banks to lend you more. Of course, it's all about serviceability. If you've purchased a property before, you've probably heard the term loan serviceability. This is the guideline mortgage providers use to determine whether you're a safe bet to afford a loan based on your assets, your savings and your income. Now, they do this to protect themselves from taking on risky loans. Now, fortunately, not all lenders use the same criteria to determine loan serviceability, and this can make a big difference as to how much you can borrow. I've seen the result of a study where 22 different mortgage lenders were given the same borrowing information, income, credit, card information, assets, all those sort of things, and it showed the amount they're willing to lend varied between $470,000 and $550,000. That's an $80,000 difference between the lenders. Clearly a place to look around at different lenders. It also pays to be forearmed. While tightening loan serviceability has made qualifying for loans a little bit more challenging, it's certainly not impossible. So here's 7 effective strategies every investor can use to help boost their borrowing capacity and tempt the banks to hand over as much money as possible to fund your investing pursuits. Number 1, get your credit cards under control. Credit cards can really work against you in your quest for a loan qualification. Lenders assume that your credit card limits will be 100% maxed out all the time. That's what they look at when they count on what you can borrow. For example, if you've got 2 credit cards with a limit of $6,000 each, then all of a sudden the banks calculate that you've got the ability to borrow $12,000, even if there's zero balance on them. So if you've got unused credit cards, cancel them. In fact, it'd be wise to cancel all credit cards except one and keep the limit as low as you need to on that. This will considerably increase your borrowing capacity with the banks. Number 2, be diligent with your financial records. Okay, I know not everyone gets excited about financial figures and numbers and things like that, but when you're on the lookout for a loan, it pays to have your paperwork up to date. It's all too common for borrowers to be knocked back by the banks because they can't prove the actual income that they're getting to lenders. So one simple way to start gaining control over your finances is to complete your tax returns on time. This shows the banks that you're diligent with your own money management. And it also shows them you're on top of your financial responsibilities. Another way is to have more information at hand about your income, more than just the last 2 payslips, because just your payslips may not really give an accurate indication of your true income, particularly if your income is supplemented by things like bonuses or overtime. And be aware of and track your complete income over the whole fiscal year to prove a more accurate picture. Some lenders are able to use a group certificate or notice of assessment from the tax department too. The third point is be aware that lenders don't see eye to eye on income. Money coming in is income, right? Well, not necessarily, not according to some lenders. You see, not all incomes are treated equally, and you'll find that income accepted by one bank may not be allowed by another. They look at things like dividends, second jobs, child maintenance payments, company profits, bonuses, commissions, government benefits, annuities, and the rental income you receive as an investor differently. Different lenders look at them differently, and some may not even recognise some of these payments as income at all. So it's worth shopping around because every dollar to your name improves your borrowing capacity. Now, this is of course where an experienced finance broker can be immensely helpful. The 4th hint is get rid of extra debts. While there's a warning that comes with this strategy, it's one you may find useful if you need a little extra to break through that lending ceiling. The fact is if you've got myriad of unsecured debts like personal loans and credit card debts, that can send up red flags to lenders. On the other hand, rolling them all in together into your home mortgage or your investment mortgage makes them disappear into one debt rather than showing up as several financial commitments. It also reduces your minimal monthly debt repayments because interest rates are usually lower. However, having a single debt may increase your borrowing capacity, it may also mean you're going to pay more interest over the long term, because those debts are going to be paid back over a long term. That $100 bag you bought in a credit card could take you 25 years, the length of your home loan repayment, to eventually own it outright. That's why the only way to use this strategy, the only way it can work, is to keep repaying more than the minimum off your monthly mortgage, so you start to get some headway paying down your debts. My fifth strategy for you is compare lenders for discounts. Currently, lenders have got some special loans, some special products. Some will give you discounted packages. Some have got promotions over a period of time. Now, over a term of 30 years or so, even 0.5% can save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest. So take your time finding out what deals are available. Better yet, again, just get a qualified finance broker to review the market for you. My sixth tip is upsize your savings. For lenders, your loan application assessment all comes down to numbers. The more numbers you have in your account, the more favourably they're going to look at you. So organise your budget and build up as big a deposit as you can, or pay down your home loan, or deposit money into an offset account so you can demonstrate as much equity as you can. Even if you haven't started shopping for a loan yet, start saving now. It's a good habit to get into and can only help you later when you start to navigate the maze. Seventh tip, the longer your loan term, the less your repayments. Look, while most home loans are 25 or 30 years, there are some banks that lend up to 40 years. A 40-year home loan works in much the same way as more traditional loans, although with a longer maximum loan term. The main benefit is that when you take these out, it reduces your monthly payments as you've got longer to pay off your loan. The downside to longer loans is you're going to pay more interest in the long term. Ideally, you'd refinance that long-term loan down the track when you're in a better position to switch to a 25 or a 30-year loan. So whether you're an investor looking for a loan or you're thinking about your future loan requirements, the bottom line is to investigate the different lenders, their guidelines, and start actively working towards meeting them. There are so many ways to make lenders happy if you're savvy, if you're knowledgeable about how to boost your borrowing power. If you want to understand a bit more about how to get in the property markets, whether it's for an investment or for your home, why not have a chat with the team at Metropole? Give us a call at metropole.com.au or 1300 20 30 30, and we'd love to have a chat with you, review your current portfolio, and make some plans for you, or show you some ways that you could get started in the property market.